Okay, let's go jump to rank games with the engineer and see what we can do today. And we're going to be trying to go for a Tesla coil build, which honestly I've been trying to make this work and it is not great. But let's see what we can do. Let's start off by grabbing ourselves a broom. The twine badge we could take if we want to, but I don't really want that. Let's grab the banana. We're probably not going to take the customer card as much as I would love to, because we're going to need to find ourselves a bunch of batteries. And yeah, that's not great. Let's take the extra stone, let's roll once more, and we are going to be taking this frying pan to craft up a generator. Now I did kind of want to go for a crossblades type build, but not a single whetstone either. Let's finish on with this. So we're definitely not going to go for crossblades since we didn't get a single whetstone. We are going to have to go for a generator to generate charges, and we'll see how we manage from here. Kind of want to maybe go for a vampiric type setup as well. But can we win this first round? It's going to begin this Reaper. Hell yeah, we can. Not bad. Big old frying pan to the face. Hell yeah. Now we do get ourselves a generator. We have to take another battery. And I'm going to take a little bit of regen and I'm going to roll once. Take way more storage. I'm also going to take the slice of bread and craft it up, but I'm going to sell one singular stone so we can go ahead and grab ourselves this dagger as well. And that's a whetstone we could take, but it's a little bit too late. Definitely going to be too late, and we're going to be stacking up a lot of heats as much as we can get from the beginning so we can go super speed. I'm trying to get this broom to stack up a lot of blinds, but our opponent does have some luck stacking, so it's not going to matter too much. They also have a strong help out for crazy amounts of regen. But can we deal our damage with a little dagger and a super speedy broom? Maybe. So our opponent is stacking up blind on us. We don't have any accuracy increase, so they're going to have 100% accuracy, and we're going to have a little less accuracy. But we have a little bit more damage with our tiny dagger. And the longer the fight goes on, they could start stacking up a power. And this is looking super close, and we barely survived. That was way too close for comfort. Now, we could actually go for spin to win. The super flexible skill, because we can choose whatever buff we want, whether it's heat, luck, regen, or mana. Or we could take false life and go for a turbo max life increase, which honestly I'm not opposed to. Guard power is also fantastic because we have an insane amount of class specific items, which will just give us regen or empower. I think right now, I'm actually going to take empower, or guard power I should say. Because that's 4 items. And that is a Thorn Whip, super early on. Which we're going to take with a health pot. And this Thorn Whip is going to be going super speedy with the generator. And let's finish on with this for now. It might actually be too much stamina, because this is going to use up 1 stamina, and this is going to use up 1.1 stamina, and opponent is going to be stacking up a lot of max life. And with this item as well, they're going to be stacking up a lot of debuffs, which is madness, because they've stacked up quite a few debuffs immediately. However, Thorn Whip is dealing some big damage, and we got a decent bit of empower. Oh, it's not looking too bad, especially with a regen. Hell yeah. Not bad at all. Now let's grab our storage. We could also go for a Toasty Goober too, which I'm going to be down for. And I kind of want to grab more regen. Starting off with more regen is going to be super awesome for us, but let's move on with this. Our Goober should be able to keep us healthy as we stack up our damage. Stack up our spikes. And our opponent is going to be eating up a lot more of our stamina since we got a tiny little dagger and they have crazy max life compared to us. But again, we stack up our empower pretty darn sweetly. We should be able to get more regen. Our freaking slice of toast with our bananas trying to keep our stamina going. But is it going to be enough? We have a lot of spikes, a lot of power, and lots of regen. And Goobert is trying to heal his best. And that was a big old smack from Returnal. Like, come on, it's so close. Hell yeah. Not bad at all. Now, this is the fastest blood turn I think I've ever crafted. Actually, I think I have a video on the fastest blood turn. But we're taking that in a heartbeat. And we are going to craft it up. I'm going to sell our broom, and I'm going to keep rolling. And we definitely want to destroy it. And I kind of want to take more daggers also with a set blueberries. Yeah, let's just move on with this. The Toast Goober is going to give us some regen. We are going to be using up our guard power now to stack up regen, just so we can get a bunch of vampirism. If we can get our guard power to pop off before we use up all our regen, we can actually get some empower. But after that, it's just going to be regen stacking from there. But that is some stuns, and holy moly, that was nuts. That's for sure. But it is what it is. Can't complain, we're getting a super fast blood turn. Especially with Nylon for some damage. And I'm going to be grabbing more daggers too. Let's sell a stone to go ahead and take it as well. Now, I'm still going to have a generator in this position, targeting our Bloodthorn as well as Rylon. But that should be awesome. Our Toast Goobards, we should be able to get potentially a lot of regen stacked up for ourselves, which should be awesome. And with a guard power, the more regen we stack up means we can just constantly scale up our power, so we should be able to get constant damage scaling from there. Except, our opponent does have some damage reduction, and it's looking super close, and we barely win once again. Maybe the daggers might not be the play. But what can I say? I want to go for some bloody daggers. I want to roll, and I really need this storage. But let's take this fanny back for now. And unfortunately, I'm just going to speed up our Bloodthorn. Just for now. But yeah, let's get going. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves this stamina sack. Yeah. Next round as well. And we are facing a shovel boy with a lot of batteries. They're going to be stacking up their buffs with the wrench, and they're going to be stacking up their crits with the Hunger Blade. But can they really keep up with us? I mean, with our daggers and our Toasty Goobards? Hell no, they can't. Now, Mana Crystal is on sale for 5. We could still take it, even though we played too much of this. But I did say I wanted to go for TESLA COIL, so yeah, that's what we're going to go for today. The thing is, so how the TESLA COIL actually works is, it's going to count every charge that runs along it. So basically, from a generator, if it triggers over twice, it's going to count 2 charges. And after that 7 seconds, with those 2 charges, it's going to explode, charging 2 items. Or advancing the cooldowns of 2 items around it by 3 seconds each, but it only works once per item, prioritizing the star slots. So we want to target our Bloodthorn. Now 3-second cooldown means this is going to trigger twice, being a cooldown of 1.6. So that's going to use up a crazy amount of stamina, but it has the potential to explode our opponents. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Which means we want to take a bunch of these items along with you as well as this too, because that is going to be another charge. And we couldn't go for a con trap, which means we can explode this as well. If you drop below half HP, that wouldn't be a bad idea either. Should we go for this con trap? I say con trap, it's con traptron. It does trigger this a lot slower though, but I think it is probably going to be worth it. So let's actually craft it up. Also, we should have this regen in, but to craft this up, we can't really have it in. Also, our generator is not going to be tagging a Bloodthorn anymore. However, it's just going to be stacking up all the charges on our TESLA COIL, which will explode, charging up our Bloodthorn to deal massive damage. And that's why I do want our Toasty Goobards so we can keep up with our stamina. And hell yeah, how many times did it trigger right then and there? I mean, within 7 seconds, our Bloodthorn actually triggered 8 times, which is kind of madness. Yeah, so TESLA COIL might actually be better than I thought it was going to be. Well, let's get this online. He looks kind of awesome, actually. Let's grab a little bit of storage. Let's also basically need this targeted in here. We have a lot of class-specific items. Now, if we stack up a lot of block, we can actually activate this pretty much immediately. Activated from the get-go. Now, we also want to grab you, and we could try to go for multiple Hunger Blades. Do we want to go for one Bloodthorn, or do we want to go for multiple Hunger Blades? Also, kind of want to switch this up a little bit and pretty much target our bloody dagger most of all. I'm not sure if we do want it. We'll just be run through stamina like there's no tomorrow. So I'm going to leave it. Pineapple could be kind of nice. A little bit of extra storage could also be nice. Maybe sell this, even though it does give us a lot of heat. Yeah, I'm going to move on with this. So we should prioritize these 3 items specifically, and then after that, it's going to be wildcard. But if we drop below 70% HP, we should be able to pretty much activate our TESLA COIL immediately and do a big explosion. Fun all should be fantastic. We should be able to get lots and lots of regen, lots of power, and big explosion. And Bloodthorn does go turbo 90 and smashing once again. Not bad at all. Now, honestly, ThornBurst will be kind of nuts here, especially since we got daggers, because we can actually speed that up as well. Now, time melting doesn't actually work with the TESLA COIL. It will make the charges move a lot slower. We don't really want it. And Powered Moon, we want to be going fast, so we don't really want it. Let's take our ThornBurst, and we can grab ourselves Rogue Pot, which I'm down for, and a little bit more heat as well with the Flame Badge, which I'm down for that as well. And let's keep rolling. Another Charge Splitter, I definitely want to grab. Honestly, with all this stuff too. Yeah, I'm going to take it all. So let's get going with this. We got 4 specific items we're targeting, which is awesome. But we are facing a chain mob with 58% crit chance. They have a lot of healing reduction down on us. And we should be able to pop off our TESLA COIL, and we do so much damage. It's kind of nuts. Definitely so. TESLA COIL actually looks kind of nuts. Now let's grab you because it's going to be another charge. With charge splitter. We roll again. And I'm going to roll again. Now we could go for multiple charge splitters. But unfortunately we can't really add this in unless we sell one of these. The coil, I'm going to sell. Even though it would be kind of nice. But a charge splitter is going to be honestly even nicer for us. That's going to generate another charge. It's going to speed up all these items as well. And we should be able to get a charge along our Tesla coil. And we could grab ourselves another one. But I'm not going to. Now this also uses up some reheat to give us luck, which does give us accuracy, which is amazing. But we are facing a cold stacking build, and slowing us down could be hugely problematic. But we should be able to trigger this immediately once we drop below a certain amount of HP and we explode our opponent's HP. That is kind of nuts actually, and amazing. Now we can imagine if this was a Blood Goobert. Honestly, we could get some craziness going if this was a Blood Goobert. Triggering all that Vampirism and doing a lot of damage. Now our Bloody Dagger, Bloodthorn, Dagger all activating quite a bit too. In terms of damage, we do only have about a 31 DPS, so it's not too amazing. Our opponent does have a 32 DPS. But in terms of heals, we do have 25 healing per second, which is looking kind of nice. But is it good enough to be able to carry on? We do have 7 rounds to go. And we'll see. We could take some damage reduction. We could take a break-in Thunder Drake to basically charge up all our items. I'm not sure if we really do want to. Now, honestly, I'm going to take this and I'm going to craft up this item right here, the Stuffed Thronator, which will stun our opponent also. So, we'll take it. 1,000,000% we're going to take it. Also, reducing our opponent's healing. Maybe we'll also take this as well. If we grab ourselves a helmet, which we did skip a few already. Well, let's get the Stuffed Thronator, because then we can also stun our opponents as well. And we do stack up a lot of charges, so it shouldn't be too bad. And he's actually looking kind of amazing. Our opponent does have Staff on healing and smashing. It's just a big explosion. This is way better than I thought it was going to be. Now this does use up a little bit of stamina, but it only has a 50% accuracy as well. We do need to stack up a little bit of accuracy too. Now let's keep rolling. The storage is amazing. We'll be taking it. We could go for a chili. We could stack up a decent bit of heats. Overtaker could be kind of nice for stamina as well, but I don't necessarily really want it, so I'm going to keep rolling. Now, a pineapple, we could go for the Raged Phoenix. We could switch into Blood Gooberts, but I don't think I'm going to take that either. Now, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And we might want to grab ourselves another Heroic Pot. We don't really go through too much stamina, so maybe we don't need it. Might reserve and hold on to it for now, and I do want to grab ourselves another Penny Pack. I want to speed up this Bloodthorn as much as possible. We can have this charge going down below, and we can stack up our accuracy with that as well, and let's add this in too. So now this is going to be targeting 5 items. Which I'm pretty sure we should, you know what, let's just take this. I'm pretty sure we should be able to target all those 5 items specifically. But we are facing Magitech crystals, and they're going to be stealing our bows. We're going to have a lot of block as well, but we do have 5 charges. We should be able to explode it, deal massive damage, but they have survived with the sheer amounts of block they do have. And again, they're going to be stealing all our bow. So can we really keep up with them? We kind of stunned ourselves. We did run out of stamina a little bit. We did use up our 2 strong Heroic Pots. I say strong Heroic Pots. Normal Heroic Pots, and it's not looking good for us. Yeah, we do want to fall short. Opponent did just steal all our buffs. Not ideal. Well, let's take this. That's going to be a decent bit of Vampirism for us. And we can also speed that up as well if we want to. But let's move on. I'm going to prioritize our guard power a little bit. Our opponent is rocking the new wand as well. They're going to be inflicting a decent bit of debuffs onto us. They got a lot of colds. We should be able to explode. We just one-shot that opponent. There's no way we actually kind of one-shot that opponent. It was more than half HP. But they just disappeared towards the end. That was kind of nuts. Maybe Stuffed Thronators is the way to go with a bunch of daggers. Maybe. Now this actually counters as well because it does kind of stun us. That'd be kind of funny if it actually worked that way. Let's grab a little bit of storage. Let's keep rolling. More regen because we do explode instantly. Another charge splitter which will give us our luck. Hell yeah, we do want that. More storage. On sale, we'll grab it as we roll, and we do not want this at all. Another dagger I wouldn't mind grabbing since we're going to be stunning. Let's sell this for another fanny pack. And I kind of want to speed all this up once again. Now we did move this out, so it's going to have one less charge on our TESLA coil, but I'm hoping that once this does hit it, it can pretty much move towards it. But this is also going to speed up our Bloodthorn too. We're going to take another dagger, we're going to take this little bit of storage, and we are going to be moving on once again. But we are facing a coal stacking build with a corrupted armor. This is not going to be fun. Potentially not. Unless we get a big explosion, which I'm really, really hoping so, and they're going to be trying to steal a lot of our buffs too. And that's a big explosion, dealing half their HP. And we are kind of bringing it back just a little bit. Kind of wish we well, definitely wish we did more damage. What the hell am I talking about? It's not going to be enough. It's definitely not going to be enough. We definitely want to add in more damage, which is going to be in the form of daggers, or it's going to be in the form of freaking Bloodthorns. Let's keep rolling. Extra dagger. More charges we'll take. A little bit of extra storage. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to say goodbye to this, and we're going to craft this up pretty much immediately. We can also go for a bunch of molten daggers, which I don't really want. But can we take on a forest dragon with a piercing arrow? They're going to have lots and lots of damage. We do explode opponents pretty darn quickly. And that's insane. Isn't that insane? That was a lot more damage. That's for sure. It's like the stuff thrown at her is like a big shotgun. And the TESLA coil combo. Now, are we going to do the dumb thing and take a Hunger Blade? I mean, we already did. We could also go for another Dove Tronator. I mean, I'm going to try to push this a little bit. Kind of have to, right? I'm still going to roll. And we probably do want this bit of storage as well as some more regen. But let's move on with this. So we're going to add in a Hunger Blade at this side. It's going to be a lot of stamina. But that's why we do have some rogue pods. And we are facing a shield, which will eat up a lot of stamina. And this is where we could push it too much. But that's a big explosion. And it's actually kind of amazing. We are getting our second Stuff Tronator as well. Which I really do want to be targeted with our TESLA coil as well. But we don't really have the space for it. Because we still need our heats. That's for sure. But let's take our coil for another charger. Grab every little freaking protective purse we can get with a bit of regen. We roll again. Another fanny pack could be kind of nuts as well. Let's keep rolling. And this is going to be even more stamina, which is a bit of a problem as well. And we could also just forget this coil. It does steal a lot of buffs, which is also awesome. But I'm going to keep rolling. One particular could be kind of nice to add into our builds because we do have a lot of buffs. We can help with our base stamina regen. But I'm going to ignore it. And this is kind of what I was looking for. We'll sell you with a flame and we can take it. And that is not going to hit this charge. We could place this up top actually. And have this back in the exact same spot we did have it before. Which is not bad. Add in a regen. And this is pretty much going to be your whole builds. If you had more bloody daggers, I would have taken 7 million of them. But I really didn't expect to be playing a Bloodthorn TESLA coil type build with a Con Traptron as well. And especially with the Stuff Tronators to stun opponents as well. Basically just a big shotgun build. Now let's see if it's going to be good enough to win out. Did we pretty much stack up too much? Especially going to begin opponents with invincibility. If we trigger this at the wrong time, we can do 0 damage. Which would be insanely bad for us. That would be terrible. So we'll see. We are going to get invincibility at some points. And it's looking... Actually, no, we did trigger. But we just break through the armor just about now. And we are running out of stamina like no tomorrow. And you do get their invincibility. Stop us from lifesteal, and that's a lot of poison on us. I don't think we're going to be able to survive this because our opponent is rocking fanfares as well, eating up our stamina. And with that invincibility, they're stopping us from lifesteal. And unfortunately, it's not going to be good enough. But opponent did counter us quite significantly. I mean, they did have a ton of heal reduction on us. They had invincibility to stop us from lifestealing, and as well as our big burst damage. So there is a big downside to what we built right now. That's for sure. But it was still insanely fun. And maybe I did push it with the extra stuff in there, but we still had a 70 DPS. Our opponent did have a 93 DPS. That's for sure. But the Bloodthorn, Bloody Daggers all putting in some work for us. But in terms of heals, we did only have 41 heal per second. So our damage was 79. Our heals was 41. And our block was actually 230 block which is kind of nuts. The Stuff Trainer giving us a decent bit of block too. Now maybe if you added in helmets. If you can find some helmets, add it in so we don't stun ourselves. Like a stone helmet would be nuts too. But it is what it is. We did survive 2 lives left with this Tesla Coil type build. And we do rank up to diamonds. Not bad at all. Hell yeah. But I'm going to have to leave it here for now. And I just want to say thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even subscribe. And hope to give a look over the next one. I'll see you next time. We're back to round 18 fights. And can we deal with some other builds? We are facing a Cupcake Gooberts Bismuth Cube Bloodthorn type build. Can we explode him with our Tesla Coil? Maybe. And that's a big explosion. And hell yeah, we can. That's much, much better. Now, can we deal with a Spike Staff Berserker? They have a lot of stuff. They're going to have a lot of damage with all Lessons to Steel. They're going to be stacking up a lot of power. And they're going to have a decent bit of block, but that's a big explosion. And if they're not running helmets, we're going to smash them. Now, can we deal with this Speak with Animals Frog Prince with a bunch of Gooberts and a Bloodthorn as well? I mean, they got a helmet to reduce their healing. They also got a helmet to block a lot of damage since we're going to be going fast. That could be a bit of a problem. Never mind, we smashed them. And finally, can we deal with a Enchanted Weapons Flame Up, which is going to be stacking a lot of coal, slowing us down, but he's not really going to matter too much. We should be able to explode him with a Tesla Coil once it does pop off. And that's 200 damage of their HP. Hell yeah. Not bad at all.